How does a country go from famine to feeding the world? From isolation to global dominance? From bicycles to spaceships? All in less than 50 years. This is not just a story of numbers. It's a story of ambition, resilience, and transformation that defied every expectation. In the mid-19th century, China was the world's largest economy. But the Opium Wars changed everything. Colonial powers tore into the country, exploiting its people and resources. By the early 20th century, China was broken, a sick man of Asia, plagued by poverty and foreign domination. Even after the Communist Party took control in 1949, China faced unimaginable challenges. Mao Zedong's early policies, like the Great Leap Forward, were catastrophic, leading to economic disaster and millions of deaths. But in 1978, everything changed. Deng Xiaoping took power and introduced one of the boldest transformations in modern history. Imagine this. In 1980, Shenzhen was a tiny fishing village of 30,000 people. Today, it's a global tech hub with over 17 million residents. This transformation didn't happen by accident, it was engineered. Deng's reforms introduced socialism with Chinese characteristics. In reality, it was capitalism in disguise. The creation of special economic zones, like Shenzhen, offered tax breaks and infrastructure to attract foreign businesses. Factories churned out goods at record speed, and China became the world's factory. China's competitive edge wasn't just about cheap labor. It was about scale, speed, and strategy. Government investment in infrastructure ensured goods moved faster than anywhere else on Earth. By the 1990s, China was exporting more than $100 billion worth of goods annually, dominating industries like electronics, textiles, and machinery. Western companies saw an opportunity they couldn't resist. Cheap production costs in China supercharged profits. But this wasn't just a windfall for foreign brands. It was a strategic win for China, which used this influx of capital to build its next phase. Let's put it this way. In the 1990s, China was building the world's flip phones. By the 2020s, it's designing the AI brains inside your smartphone. How did this happen? China didn't just want to manufacture, it wanted to innovate. By pouring billions into education, research, and technology, the country began climbing the value chain. Companies like Huawei, Tencent, and BYD didn't just compete, they redefined industries. Today, China leads the world in electric vehicles, 5G networks, and even space exploration. This isn't imitation, it's domination. While other nations debated, China built high-speed rail, ports, airports, and highways. Trillions of dollars were invested to connect cities and regions. China's infrastructure boom wasn't just about moving goods, it was about moving people and ideas. In just 3 decades, over 800 million people moved from rural areas to cities. This urbanization created a consumer market unlike anything the world had ever seen. Suddenly, China wasn't just exporting, it was consuming. And China wasn't content with reshaping itself. It wanted to reshape the world. Enter the Belt and Road Initiative, a $1 trillion mega project to build trade routes across 60 countries. Ports in Pakistan, railways in Africa, and bridges in Europe. China was exporting its model of growth globally. Critics call it a debt trap. Supporters call it a lifeline. Whatever your stance, one thing is clear. China's influence is no longer confined within its borders. But this rapid rise has come at a cost. Environmental damage, rising inequality, and an aging population threaten to slow China's growth. Add to that trade wars and geopolitical tensions, and the road ahead is anything but certain. Yet China is adapting. It's the world's largest investor in renewable energy, and its next generation of entrepreneurs is already shaping industries like biotech and quantum computing. The question isn't whether China will keep growing, it's how. By 2050, China could very well be the largest economy in the world. But will it lead a new world order or clash with existing powers? The answer may define the 21st century. From humiliation to hope, from collapse to superpower. China's story isn't just about economics. It's about resilience, ambition, and the will to shape the future. As the world watches, one thing is clear. China has already rewritten the rules of what's possible.